guys, what's still happening? It's the art coach here. For today's video, I'm attempting to show my face, so hello. I know this setup's a little weird. I got these huge headphones on. For today's video, I was going to kind of take you guys through how I line my art. So I wanted to give you some tips and tricks on just things like that. But first I'll tell you a little bit about the art piece. It's of a woman tearing up, and if you've ever worn any kind of makeup when you're crying, it looks like you're just tearing up black, which I thought added some really great mood to the piece. The tears are blooming into a branch as well, and then out sprouts little flowers and that. And the piece is kind of my further exploration on trying to tie together dark and light and the yin and yang, and just to find beauty. As far as my art tips, I wanted to work through using a liner with you. I really like to use fine liners in my art, even though it kind of stylizes my art and then it doesn't put it kind of in the genre of fine art, even though, I mean, I don't really care what genre my art is in. I don't think you should either. I know that in the fine art community, they don't tend to think of fantasy art and anime and that type of thing as fine art, which I think is fucking bullshit. But because I think all of that is beautiful, and I think it's creative, and I think it's art as well. But in any case, that's a whole other topic. So I like how black liner kind of adds almost a tattoo element to it, and it makes whatever subject you're drawing really stand out. So if you're looking to do something more realistic, I wouldn't suggest using black lines. But in any case, if you're interested, here's my tips. In order to get smooth lines, something I do is I drag my wrist on the piece of paper or table, whatever I'm drawing on, and I firmly press my wrist against it and drag slowly and smoothly. You can also do that while moving your wrist quite slowly and smoothly. This will result in a smooth line. Something I suggest you doing is just practicing lines and seeing which arm movements and wrist motions actually produce the smoothest lines. I know that sounds super boring. Sometimes when I have no idea what to draw, I'm sitting there with my sketchbook. I just start with lines just to do something. For the times you mess up a line, so like if the end becomes a little squiggle wobble or something, a really great way to hide it is to just make that part thicker and work it in and make it from a thick to thin line. That brings me to my next point, which is vary your line weight. What that means is you should have thick lines, thin lines, and vary them, and you can go from thick to thin, thin to thick. If you're unsure to where to transition and where to put thick lines, think of thick lines as your shadows. This is something you can accentuate the volume of your subject or whatever it is you're drawing. If you think about it, like, really thick lines add a lot of black. A lot of black is going to look a lot darker. So just add them where light wouldn't hit on your subject, if that makes sense. If not, ask below. I'll try to answer. As far as what pens work well for lining art, it depends what you're going to be coloring after you line. So if you're going to be using pencil crayons, you can use anything like Sharpies. But if you're going to be using alcohol-based markers, like Copics or something like that, I would suggest don't use a Sharpie. Don't do it. I did that, and the black just bled all over the place, which sucks. I do really like fine Sharpies for the price. It's just, yeah, they bleed. So if you are going to be using alcohol-based markers, I suggest using something like the Copic Fine Liner, obviously, or the Micron Pens. That's about it, though, guys. I hope that the whole face on camera thing worked out. It's not too dark, and I hope I can sync up the mic with the camera. We'll see. See you next time, guys. Bye.